Thank you, Dr. Dizon, for that presentation. This will be one good question to answer. We asked Dr. Localiza and Dr. Denise to join us here. Now open the floor for questions regarding I think the lecturers give quite a extensive lectures. It seems that everyone has understood it. If no questions from the floor,
Sorry, ako na ulit. Dr. Dalimansa. Do you touch on this, let's say, you ask a pulse, but it's not really extruded? Do you need to touch on that when doing millimeter pulse?
Yes, sir. Pre-op, you can check whether there is a need to decompress the disc as well or do a discectomy. You can request for a pre-op CT scan. It can help you to decide whether it's a calcified disc or not. But generally, sir, if intra-op, I still assess the disc whether there's a need to take it out. So what I do is after doing the decompression of the lateral recess, taking out the ligament and flapping. So you really have to dissect the nerve root with the RF probe and then do the maneuver which I showed earlier. Use to level the cannula to retract the nerve root. And then you can inspect the posterior annulus or the PFL. If there are no defects or anything in top, if it's currently, then you can also use annuloplasty. You can burn it with the RF probe and eventually it will shrink. So what I do to gauge if the nerve root is free on the ventral aspect is you can use a ball tip probe to mobilize the nerve root. So if it's free and there's no part of the disc touching on the ventral part of the nerve root, then that's a sign of an adequate decompression.
So you just use RF?
Yes, sir. Radio frequency. Yeah.
This is for Dr. Hay. So when you do your large deformity corrections and you go down to the sacrum and the iliacs, what would be your more common complications that you would encounter? And how would I prevent them from happening?
Okay, so we talk about down to pelvis. Usually we do it for high stress constructs, and the complications that arise from going to the pelvis is actually minimal. We are concerned sometimes that if you go to S1, it incur stress over an SI joint, and that SI joint can cause SI pain. Almost always, if you were to stabilize that joint, S2AI screw or a conventional pelvic screw, that is gone. Whether you would cause SI joint irritation is something that is controversial. Personally, I find that this is extremely rare. Just to prove a SI joint pain is easy. You go for nerve blocks, for SI joint blocks to ensure that the pain only comes from there. Even so, it entirely conclusive. Look at the orientation of SI joint. If you want to do a fixation across the SI joint, the trajectory of the screw should not be too parallel to the SI joint. These are the patients that are better off avoiding an S2AI screw because the screw doesn't compress SI joint. In fact, it traverses almost parallel to it. So they are the ones that usually end up having SI joint pain and hence the need for revision. Loosening from pelvic screws, again, extremely rare, but that is provided you use large bore screws. I often use a 9.5 grit minimum. So a good trajectory is necessary for you to ensure yourself to be able to place such long and big screws. Otherwise, smaller screws may end up going to problems, usually due to screw fracture. You know that it will fracture at certain areas. Just when it enters sacral cortex and when it passes through the side joint as I construct. So I would say, all in all, it's pretty rare. Indications must be there, so you have to watch out the anatomy. And once you go ahead with strong purchase and strong fixation, usually it's okay.
Thank you. So, any other questions from the floor? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Dafusa, Dr. Dizon, and Dr. Hay. Thank you there from Singapore. So nice to share your time with us. Okay, we hope to see you next time here in a future meeting here in PSS. Okay. With that, we thank you all for our participation in this first session in the afternoon. We move on forward to our next session. Dr. Renato Lipana Jr. will be moderating the next session.